Well, look, we've got some video questions for you. We're going to throw them your way. And let's listen to the first one.
Why did you start the charity yourself?
He's asking, why did you start the charity yourself?
I started the charity because there wasn't really anyone dealing with prevention work, and for us, doing with prevention was the most important issue. There's organisations that do a lot of work with survivors, which do a fantastic job, but we wanted to stop it happening, so education seemed the obvious route forward.
OK, brilliant. Let's take a look at the second video question we've got up for you.
How big is the problem of forced marriage in the UK today?
It's a good question.
It is a good question. We don't know. The truth is we don't know how big a problem it is, because the figures that we have are just the tip of the iceberg, because most people haven't got the courage to report this and they just go ahead with it. You know, we know suicide rate amongst Asian girls is 3 times higher than any other group in the UK. We know there's a huge problem. We don't know the numbers, but we know it's growing. Almost every school I've been to has had at least one forced marriage case come out, at least.
How can you find out? What's your charity doing to find out exactly what the problem is?
We contacted the Education Authority and asked how many people have gone missing from schools last September. Do they suspect being forced into marriage? We're in the middle of the Easter holidays. Young people will go missing these holidays too. And they said they didn't keep the figures nationally. They said contact each education authority, which we started to do. And they told us, we don't keep the figures, contact each individual school. We don't have the resource to do that. If we don't know which young people are going missing and where they are, how can we target them? How can we bring them back? How can we stop this from happening? The government have responsibility to collate these figures, and we can all work and support those people.
And where does your charity come in all of this? Are you working with the government? Are you putting pressure on schools to get those figures?
We're working really closely with the Forced Marriage Unit, with the education authorities. We're working with DFID. We're working with a number of partners in ensuring that this message is put across very strongly. As a charity, we have a 24-hour helpline and text line. I'm really proud of the work that does. It has 20 professionals at the end of the phone. We also have an app. We also have a book. So we're cool, but it's not fair.
Talk to me about this app. How does that work?
The app really was born as a result of talking to young people in schools, and we didn't have the money for leaflets at the time, and leaflets and information keeps changing, and I thought, how are we going to keep abreast of this? And the young people, we all love our phones, and young people in particular love their smartphones, so it seemed very obvious the way forward was to have an app on their phone, and the police were calling in the 999 of apps, which would have all the signs of forced marriage on there, and you were 2 clicks away from calling the police if you're in immediate danger, or the charity, or the Forced Marriage Unit, or the Samaritans. We also had a section for child abuse generally and female genital mutilation, and the app is growing and evolving and developing, and you know, there's been thousands of downloads across the platforms that young people and professionals have got on their phone now. Even MPs have got it on their phone because it's got the signs for them too.
Is it free? Is it easy to access?
It is absolutely free. And as a charity, trying to move forward, keep ahead of technology, work with young people, work with developers is very expensive. So we definitely need support to try and keep moving forward.
Oh, so this is it. So you also mentioned you have a book. Is this for adults or for children?
I wrote a book called But It's Not Fair. And when we first started going into schools, young people said it's a really interesting topic, we want to learn more about it. But the easiest way, the school said, was through fiction. So I wrote But It's Not Fair, and we've donated over 20,000 copies of that. And it's been getting really nice reviews, and people have downloaded it on the Home Office website and got it for free, although I would hope some people would buy it too, because that would help support us.
All right, let's see if we can fit in another video question for you.
Okay.
Let's see what we've got coming up.
What's the difference between forced marriage and arranged marriage?
That's
a really, really good question, and I have to say you're going to enlighten me on this one.
Okay.
What exactly is the difference
An arranged
there?
marriage is really simple. An arranged marriage is when you're introduced to somebody, often by your parents or friends, and you have the choice to say no as many times as you want to. There's no duress. A forced marriage is where one or both people are put under duress and forced to marry against their will. Pretty simple.
So they could be forced into an arranged marriage?
No, because as soon as you are introduced to someone and you say no, and then there's pressure put on, and it's not always being dragged onto a plane and being taken abroad. It can be the drip effect of being told, if you don't do this, you're going to bring dishonour onto the family, we're going to disown you. The mother will often say, I'm going to commit suicide if you do this. So that person is put under so much pressure to get married that they have no choice. And that's what it means. Being forced to get married against your will means the choice has been taken away.
So arranged marriage, that's okay.
That's okay.
So if you hear someone saying, I'm in an arranged marriage, you shouldn't, suddenly get scared and call you guys.
No. I mean, arranged marriages do work, and they've worked for generations. And now I don't think any of us have an issue with that. And often some people need help.
Then. Aneeta, thank you very much for clearing that up. I hope you guys understand. If you do have any questions at all, any comments at all, if this affects you in any way, do get in touch with us at London Live, #PowerLunch.